Hello, I'm Marlene Bertrand, and thank you for joining me for this Success Saturday, where I talk about presenting the CMA to sellers so that you can help them price their home to sell. In the real estate industry, we often refer to the CMA, which stands for Comparative Market Analysis, or some people say Competitive Market Analysis. Either way you say it is correct. The CMA is a tool that helps sellers determine what price they should list their home for sale. Personally, I rarely have to do listing presentations, but that's just because when people call me to come list their home, they already know me. And when they call me, all they want to know is what price they should list their home for sale. Even on those rare occasions when I do have to go and do a listing presentation, just simply maybe the seller is shopping around for the best real estate agent while all these other realtors are showing up with big binders and fancy presentations. I show up with a CMA and a pad of paper to take notes for our conversation. I would usually end up getting the listing because I showed up to answer the one question sellers wanted answered. What price should I list my home to get the most money? And secondly, they want to know how I'm going to market their home. And of course, we talk about that too. Now, agents, let me say this. When you price a home competitively, you don't have to do a lot of marketing. When a home is priced right, buyers will find you. In fact, a well-priced home will have buyers beating down the door to get in. Now, let's break down the components of the CMA. First of all, understand that a market analysis is only as good as the homes selected for analysis. It is critical that the homes you select to use in the analysis are homes that are similar to the homes you are considering for listing, or the subject property, as we say in the industry. You don't want to be comparing a 3-bedroom home with a 5-bedroom home. They are not the same. You don't want to compare an 850 square foot home to a 2,000 square foot home. They are not the same. You don't want to compare condominiums with single family detached homes. They're just simply not the same. Equally as important as the physical configuration of the home, you want to make sure that the homes used for comparison are in a close proximity to the subject property. It is best to start your home search with homes that are within a quarter mile from the subject property. But if you can't find homes within a quarter mile, then expand the search to half a mile. You can continue expanding the criteria until you find enough similar homes to compare. Now, in a moment, I will get to the components that make up a CMA. But first, let me help you set the criteria for each component. For the best results, you want to find 3 homes in each of the components of the CMA. These homes must be similar to the subject property. Get as close as you can to matching the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. Ideally, you want to use a range of square footage that is not smaller than or larger than about 200 square feet. For example, if the subject property is 1,500 square feet, then set the search criteria to look for homes that are within a range of 1,300 square feet to 1,700 square feet. The same goes for yard size. Only set the yard size to not smaller than or larger than 2,000 square feet. Also, look for homes that are similar in age. A home built in 1915 is going to be different than a home built in 2015. So let's get started on generating that CMA. A CMA is built on the following components. First, we have active listings. Now, active listings are listings that are currently for sale. The seller will want to see what other sellers have their homes listed for. Second, we have pending sales. Pending sales are listings that have gone under contract. In other words, a buyer has come in and made an offer on the property, the seller has accepted the offer, and now they're in escrow waiting to close. The seller will want to see which home prices generated enough interest to result in a sale. Now, thirdly, we have closed listings. And closed listings are listings that have closed escrow. The buyer has signed all the closing documents and the seller has signed all the closing documents. This is the component of the CMA that provides the ultimate outcome of a home listed for sale. In this component, you will see what the home sold for, you will see what the home was listed for, and you will see how many days the home was on the market. Keep in mind that you want to include homes that represent the current market trend. In other words, you want to include homes that have sold recently, like say within the past 3 months. The closed listings component is the one I spend the most time on analyzing. This is the component that suggests the best price to get the quickest sale. It is easy to see that a home sold for X price took X number of days to sell. Now, on a screen, I will show you some examples of homes sold. Here we can see that home number 1 sold for $325,000 and was on the market for 30 days. Home number 2 sold for $300,000 and was on the market for 2 days. And home number 3 sold for $350,000 and was on the market for 60 days. Looking at this example, a seller could determine that if they list their house on the high side, it could likely take a longer time to sell. On the other hand, if they list their house at the low end, it could likely sell quickly. Comparing the home's photos showing the outside and the interior of the comparative homes enhances your ability to allow the sellers to see how their home compares to other homes. And for each of the homes, you want to show as many photos as possible. Let sellers see photos of the exterior of the house's front, side, and back. Especially let sellers see the inside of the homes that are included in your analysis. You want the seller to see the condition of the homes so that they can compare their home to these other homes. Why? Because if the seller sees that the homes that sold for higher prices all had new carpet throughout, granite countertops, and new appliances in the kitchen, and a finely landscaped yard, they might be encouraged to update their home to get the better price. A home with a rundown appearance and poorly maintained cannot possibly compete in price with a home that is beautifully updated and well maintained. Let's look at it like this. When a buyer is looking at houses, they take into consideration the cost to bring the house up to their standards. Understandably, a buyer will pay less for a house that they know they will have to spend money afterwards to bring that house up to their standards. They will spend more money up front for a house that is in move-in, ready condition, knowing they will not have to spend money to fix it up. It's already fixed up and ready for them to move in. That is a true value for them and worth spending the extra money to buy the house. Encourage sellers to take a buyer's position when comparing their house to other houses on the market. This hopefully encourages them to set their prices accordingly. And now, speaking of setting prices, always, always let the seller set the price. If the seller asks you what price you think they should list their house, refer to the CMA. Let the seller set the price. You can say things like, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, as you can see from the market analysis, homes that are priced in the 300,000 range are taking on average 2 days to sell, and homes that are priced in the $350,000 range are taking up to 60 days to sell. You could then ask, how quickly do you need to move? You should then counsel them on the idea that they could base their price on what their preferences are. Try to find out what their motivation is for selling. Do they need to move quickly because of a job transfer? Maybe they have to move in a timely manner because they purchased another house. And in order to get that house, they need the funds from the sale of this house. What if they are not in a hurry at all? In that case, they can price their home in the higher range and simply wait for the ideal buyer to come along to purchase it. Whatever you do, keep pricing out of your hands. Always let pricing be the seller's decision. Your job is to bring the data to the table for them to analyze and then let them make their decision based on the data. So as you can see, when generating a CMA, you want to find homes in the neighborhood that are similar to the subject property. You want to show photos of the homes that are currently for sale. You want to show homes that are currently under contract with a pending sale, and you want to show homes that have recently sold. And remember, you do not set the price. The seller sets the price. Well, that's all I have for you this Success Saturday. I hope you learned what a CMA is and how to use a CMA to help sellers price their homes to sell at the highest price and the shortest amount of time. Bye.